Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So today's going to be a little bit of a different video. Judging by the title, you already know, but I've seen these kind of videos going around YouTube recently and I thought they were just really fun to see. So it's like basically the worst purchases I've made in my 20s and the best purchases I've made in my 20s. So on December 8th, I will be 25, so I'm almost halfway through my 20s. So I thought this would be a good time for me to kind of talk about some of the best purchases I've made in my 20s, and then maybe when I turn 30 I can do like an overall one, but this is like halfway point of in your 20s. So these are like the best purchases I've made, and yeah, as a student, like I haven't been able to, like as a PhD student, like I've been a student basically my entire life, so I do get paid as a PhD student, and then I did my residency, so I got a salary there as well. So I've never really had like a adult job really, so this one, you know, this is like a skewed PhD student version of this. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So number one, the best purchase that I've made ever in my 20s would have to be my education. So I was very fortunate enough for my bachelor's, where I got 2 degrees, a bachelor's of science in biomedical engineering and a bachelor of arts in anthropology. My parents paid for that, but I was very fortunate for that, but the expectation was if I wanted to continue my education with graduate school, I would have to pay for that myself. So for my master's, I had to take out student loans, and for 2 years it ended up being $40,000, which is a lot, but I'm very lucky now that as a PhD student I get a scholarship and a stipend, so I don't have to pay a penny for my PhD. That's covered by the school. I also get a salary on top of that, so that is very nice as well. So even though it has, in terms of like my master's, like I'm not including my bachelor's and my PhD currently because it's already paid for, but for my master's in particular, that was, even though it's not a field that I'm in anymore, like I don't want to be orthotic and prosthetic clinician, the stuff that I learned in school has very much set me apart from fellow engineers who have gone strictly the engineering route to their PhD. I have clinical experience that makes what I do and makes me more valuable, and I'm a resource that people actually will reach out to and ask for my opinion on it. So that has much played a very much pivotal role in how I've ended up where I am. And I will never regret spending money on my education because that's made me who I am, and it's a good investment in my future and my career. And I'm just, like I said, even though it has put me in $40,000 in debt, it is very much kind of pivotal in my future. So this is one that people can either say it's one of the worst purchases they make, but for me, I view it as a good purchase for me, and it is my car. So my parents bought me my first car when I was in high school, and I used it predominantly for driving to school during my undergrad, and I used it when I was at my master's, but it was a 2007 Ford Edge SEL, and kind of towards the end of my master's, it was dying. Basically the battery, I'd have to like run the car every single day, the battery would die, the air conditioning heating went, and it was -30 that winter, so I was freezing. So that car like was dying basically. So I purchased my first car when I finished my master's, and it was a used car. It is currently, I have a 2016 Ford Edge Titanium. It is my baby, and even though like I got it at a good price actually, like it was cheaper than what I could get in terms of like on the lower end of the spectrum for the Edges or for the Escapes, like it was cheaper than what I could get for new, and it was in really good condition. It's like the highest end for that model, so I love that car, and it was $18,000, and yes, that is adding up. But for me, I looked at it as an opportunity for me to build my credit because I got my first credit card, and it helps me kind of build my credit over time. So I signed up for I think it's a 5-year lease, but I've been financing kind of what I've been doing now, like the salary that I've been taking in for my PhD. So I'll actually be able to pay off my car in 2 years. So that is a lot better. I actually end up spending less money on it, but it also provides me an opportunity to actually build my credit, which I think is really important for someone who lives at home and has no other expenses besides like my student loans and my car. Like, this is a good opportunity for me to kind of build that credit, so by the time I do graduate from my PhD, I'll kind of be able, if I need to move out or move somewhere for a job, like I'll be able to build my credit. So in the long run, it is helping me kind of build my credit. And it also, I take some pride in like having my own car and all of that. So again, this is another one that people have said put on their worst purchases list, but for me, it's made a tremendous difference in my life and my health, and it is a gym membership. So I'm not one who really enjoyed the gym. I've had so many ACL injuries, like I've torn my ACL twice, had ankle surgery, broke my arm, all that stuff. So I'm not naturally athletic, and all that stuff. So me going to the gym is very much quite astonishing. But I don't pay for the expensive trainers or the classes or like the high-end gyms. Basically, I pay $10 a month to go to Planet Fitness, and for me that is a good compromise. I've gotten the habit now, I've been going to the gym for a year now, where it's an outing for me, and it's something like, if I don't want to go to the gym, I don't want to go to the gym. When I was working from home, I would go like 5 times a week basically, and now I'm back in school, I go 2 times a week, and that is doable for me. But in the long run, compared to like the health, like improving my health, it's cutting down the medical expenses down the road, and it provides me, like I said, a good outing. I get a good workout in, I feel more confident in myself. So like I said, it's $10 a month, so it's not breaking the bank, but it's something that's doable. So if I go 2 times a week for a month, it's about like $1 and change per session. So I think that's something that's doable. My brother and sister both go to this gym as well, so we all go together. And they also have promotions that you can get at Planet Fitness. Like every now and then you can get a free like water massage, which is really nice. But I would never play for the black card, which is $25 a month. But $10 is a good compromise for me and just improving my health. And I actually never thought I'd say this, but I do enjoy going to the gym. So these last two are ones that are kind of tied together, and in a sense relates to, instead of buying physical things, it's more in buying experiences. So for number 4 is concerts. Books and music are probably the biggest things like I love in life. Like, those are the things that I will invest in. I love music. I've always been a big music person, even when I was younger, and so music is really my thing next to books. I taught myself how to play guitar. Like, I get so invested in my music that it's played such an integral role in my life and all that stuff. So I will pay more to have better seats in concerts for some of my favorite artists. I've done meet and greets with Kelsey Ballerini a few times. Like, I love concerts, and even though like I do get anxiety from concerts and being with like so many people around me, I do get anxiety, but I love my music so much that I love being able to see some of my favorite artists, and seeing Taylor Swift and Kelsey Ballerini and the Dixie Chicks, who haven't toured in like 10 years, like seeing that, like, because I grew up listening to the Dixie Chicks. And we bought our parents the tickets for all 5 of us to go see them when they came out on tour a couple years ago. Like I'll pay for those things and those experiences and the music, and I love all that. So that's something like the best purchases, because I've been able to also share those memories with my brother and sister going to see those concerts. Like, seeing the Dixie Chicks with my parents and my family is just so amazing. So I really love investing in concerts and just the experience of it. And lastly, number 5 would have to be travel. This year was definitely the point where I've gotten more comfortable with traveling and experiencing new things. We did our first international traveling to Barcelona with my brother and sister this spring, and it was amazing. Just the experiences I got to share with my siblings, it was just surreal, and just seeing other ways of life. And I would I rather spend $500 on a round-trip ticket to Barcelona or $500 of some material item? Like, that experience was amazing and nothing that I'll ever be able to experience again, and it was just really surreal. So that is something going forward, like being able to travel places, I think is really a good thing to invest in, because really in life you're experiencing things and you don't really experience things through material items. So this is definitely something that going forward, like, I've never felt guilty about spending money on a trip or an experience, and like the memories that I've made, because that is totally worth it on my end. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite purchases have been in your 20s and like the best things for you. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.